Hey buddy, welcome back to this Extreme Warfare Revenge series. My name is Andy, your humble host and uncommentator for this episode, which is number 26 of the series. Now, if you watched episode number 25 and got all the way through to the end, first of all, I congratulate you on your stamina because it was quite a long episode. I did drone on a little bit, so I'll try to do that here. But second of all, you will know that I finished the video on the 30th of September. Now, you can see here, I'm currently on the 1st of October. Now, I don't like to progress time without recording, but the reason why I did it on this occasion is because I was expecting quite a lot of emails to come in and have to deal with, basically due to the being a new month, and I was right in that, and I was right with that thought, because I actually had over 100 emails, and I don't think that it's particularly good. I feel like in the past when I've had a lot of emails, I've had to deal with them. It's not made for particularly good viewing. So what I've done is, I've done everything that needs to be done, so I'll quickly get you up to speed with where we're at, and then we'll crack on and do the usual stuff. And what I will say is, this is going to be quite a significant episode. The series is going to change from this point onwards, but we'll worry about that in a little while. So first of all, I'll just quickly go through the emails that I kept, that I found, and I thought maybe people would find interesting. So Paul Ellerman's retired, so of course the manager of LOD and AOP at the minute, and one or two other people probably. So Bob Backlund's retired, so the glory days are now definitely gone, they're no more, because Bob Backlund has gone. So Hulk Hogan's going to decide to, if he's going to run his own promotion in the future, so that made no grammatical sense, but you can see what it's saying there, so that should be interesting. If you want to work for Terrible Terry, tell him it doesn't work for him, brother, when he's booking for you. Yep, so there we go, that just confirms that. So The Rock, the original Rock, before Dwayne Johnson had that moniker, has retired. Arn Anderson's gone, so he won't be glocking in for work anymore, because he's retired. And Gerald Briscoe, one of the Stooges, has gone, which is a shame. Io Shirai's gone to AEW rather than AAW, so hopefully she doesn't get confused with those two companies, but thankfully she's still working for us. Dash Wilder's gone to AEW, so mimicking real life. Pete Dunne's gone to Rise. There's a Butch joke in there somewhere, but I can't think of it, so we'll move on. So Naomichi Marufuji's gone to NJPW, so he was someone that was touring with Noah that I was potentially interested in signing, but I suppose we still could. But for now, he's gone to New Japan, of course, along with Extreme Tiger. Don't know why I kept that email, but hey ho. Nick Aldis gone to MLW, not to be general manager. Although I think he's great in that role, I really do like him. But maybe that's British biasness, I don't know. John Moxley's gone to Chikara. Potato. I think he used to work for them in real life, could be wrong though. Rowan's gone to House of Hardcore. Don't know why I kept that one, but I like the Radio Kid. He had a really good match with Kenny Omega once on a Triple Mania, I remember that one. So CMLL have signed Roosh to a written contract. Ryback's gone to WWN, because of course he's still not retired. And WWN's part of a developmental league for WWE, not on this game, but like in real life. So working his way back to his former employee. Juice Robinson, who also worked for WWE. Was it Kalen Croft he was called? Can't remember. Natalia's gone to Impact, so as well as touring with Pride, she's now at Impact. When I say tour with Pride, I mean the company Pride, not she's proud to be touring. Lance Storm to CZW, that seems like a perfect fit to me. Walter going to AAA. I can really see Walter doing Lucha Libre. That should be fun. Right, we'll come back to that one because that's quite a significant email. What have we got left? We don't need that one. Well, we'll keep the other two. We don't need the Mick Foley one. Right, so we've got interest from Paramount. Now, I've been quite fortunate so far because I've sent 2 promo tapes out and had 2 successful replies. Now, I can assure you that you don't always get that. You will get rejected at times, but so far I haven't. Okay, so my original plan was, if we look at Warfare, there's 1 week left on the Warfare contract. So my original plan was to replace VH1 with Paramount. So wait for the VH1 contract to expire and then just put Warfare on Paramount in its slot. However, I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to start a second show, and that's why, from this point onwards, the series is going to change quite significantly, because I'm going to be booking 2 shows a week as opposed to 1. So it's going to take me a lot longer to get through time, basically, because I'm, like I said, twice as much booking in a week as there has been previously. And The fact that I'm losing my voice after 5 minutes is worrying. But anyway, let's not worry too much about that. So, yeah, the reason why I'm going to put a second show on is because I want to keep this public image up. So now that we're sort of in a war, if you like, a forbidden war, with Ring of Honor, CMLL, so we're not in a war, but we're competing with quite a lot of other companies, basically from AEW all the way up to Ring of Honor, a very similar size to us. So to help us compete with them, I'm going to put a second show on. That's the rationale. So let's sort that out now. And it's going to be on Saturday, prime time. And it's going to be called Outrage, which is very similar to Rampage. That's not the reason why I did it, why I chose that name. Just don't know why I came up with that name. But yeah, Saturday prime time, Outrage. So let's give it a commentary team. So I've hired some more staff, which again I'll come back to in a second. And one of the staff I've hired is to voice Outrage, and it's going to be Pat McAfee, because I quite like him. I know he's not really a play-by-play guy, but and he's not everyone's cup of tea, but it's not real, so screw it, why not? So Pat McAfee's going to announce, and colour commentary is going to be provided by Mick Foley. So Mick Foley and Pat McAfee calling Outrage on Saturday. That's just to help keep Foley's morale up, which shouldn't be too difficult, but just to make sure. We're going to stick him on commentary. Anyway, right, so just a quick recap of what I did between recording this video and the last video. So I've sorted out all the merchandise stuff that and advertising costs that you can only do at the start of the month. I can get some better sponsors, but I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to come back to that in the next video. We're going to sort out getting sponsors that will pay us more money. As I said, I've hired some staff, I've hired some more wrestlers, but they're nearly all developmental people, so I'm not going to go through them all, because there's no point, really. Jordan Grace is one of them. Gates of Agony from AEW, but yeah, as I said, I won't go through all of them. I will, though, mention the staff I've hired, so let's just quickly go through those. So, yeah, Pat McAfee, as I said, to announce in the show. Hired Earl Hebner, because why not? Extra referee. Yep, thought like a good idea. I've hired an extra writer. Now, for some reason, I had 3 writers, and then if you have 2 shows, for some reason, to be able to book angles, you need an extra writer. No idea why, but apparently you do. So, probably to do with workload or something. I don't know. Anyway, we've had an extra writer, and it's Dave Kapoor, who used to manage the Great Khali, I think. Not under that name, of course. And then, despite the fact we don't have a training camp, I have hired a trainer for when we do open a training camp, and that is good old A-Train. It's like A-Train, no irony there. So, hired Matt Bloom. Looks like a bald James Wade there. That picture, you know who James Wade is. Anyway, move on. So that's that. What else do I need to mention? Oh yeah, Japan. So, Dragon Gate. They've got a very curtailed roster now. They've only got 4 people left touring, so that should be those shows should be fun. But Flamita is still one of them, so we can't sign him to a written contract, which is unfortunate. And last but not least, I made money last month. So despite, I don't know where that's gone, that 56,000, but must have released some money, and I've forgotten. But anyway, yeah. So despite the fact that I ran a pay-per-view, the first time I ran a pay-per-view, I lost a chunk of money. However, the last month I ran a pay-per-view, and thankfully I still made money. So from this point onwards, we're going to be doing pay-per-views for all the big events. So Smoking the Bandito, our next event is going to be a pay-per-view, and all the future ones going forward. As I said, right, I think we're up to date. The only thing, we're up to date with the backstage stuff. So let's quickly bring you up to date with the creative stuff. So the last show that I booked was the Battle of Los Angeles pay-per-view that we didn't lose money on, thankfully. And this was the card, so let's just quickly refresh our memories. So Brian Cage and Eli Drake. So Brian Cage beat Eli Drake, Keith Lee beat Real One, so they went on to the Battle of Los Angeles final. Orange Cassidy teamed with Hulk Hogan, because of course he did, to beat the Outsiders. Io Shirai won the women's title. So Asuka, Kairi and Katrina were banned from ringside because they beat Deonna Purrazzo up, but Mia Yim interfered and turned heel on Mickie James to help. So Io won the championship as a result of that. Keith Lee beat Brian Cage in the bowler final, and in the main event, Kongo Kong retained the world title, beating Mick Foley in a hardcore match. So that's where we're up to. So we're now going to be booking the Fallout of Battle of Los Angeles. I've already been talking for 10 minutes. I do want to try and get the debut. If I'm running out of time, then the debut episode of Outrage will happen in the next video. But hopefully that won't happen. Right, so 22 emails, so 20 new emails. Let's see what we've got. So MLW have signed Daryl. I thought we had Daryl Sharma. I thought he was one of our referees. I think I used to have him. You can't steal. You can steal wrestlers, but you can't steal staff. It's a bit weird. Anyway, thankfully we don't have to worry about that. So they've had a new referee. Presuming she's replacing Gerald Briscoe. Kazushi Sakuraba, don't know who that is. Gone to WoW. I'll delete these later. Actually, Delta's gone to WoW because of course he has. Rhino to AEW. John Davis to Rise. They've signed Johnny Impact to. So what's he going to be called now? Johnny Japan. Don't know. Just Incredible's going to be on. Rocky Romero to be on. I've heard of that person. I'm not going to try and say their name though. Matt Morgan, House of Hardcore. Johnny. Okay, so that lasted a long time. He signed that written contract. Alex Colon or Colon. I assume it's Colon. John Moxley's gone to. So he signed. So he joined Shikara, and now he's left Shikara. 1 day later. Fair enough. Wants to work with Ryback, obviously, in WWE. Leo Rush to Ring of Honor. That's an interesting signing. Masquerita Dorada to Ring of Honor. That's a very interesting signing. Apollo Crews to AAA. Again, I can't see him doing Lucha Libre, but you never know. And that's that for now. Let's delete the TV deals. Yeah, Masquerita Dorada is a mini wrestler, so that's an interesting signing. Zelina Vega to AEW. Obviously she used to work for us. Right, Virus to Impact, not Cyrus. Eli Everfly, can't say I've heard of him. Could be her, I think it's him. And Tanahashi to House of Hardcore. And then of course the Zelina Vega signing. Right, okay, so we're now up to I need to renew this contract quickly. I meant to do that earlier, yeah. So let's just renew this contract quickly. So 1 week left, so we can go to negotiate with Network. Extend contract length, yep, 9 months, thank you very much. Now, if booking 2 shows is becoming a bit of a problem, then I can get, there is a sort of way I can get out of the contract, but we'll worry about that if and when we get to it. The other reason why I'm going to do 2 shows is because if I don't get the ratings that Paramount want, they may cancel the show, which I'm a little bit worried about. So that's another reason why I am going 2 shows, because then we still got, I didn't want to lose Paramount. If we moved Warfare to Paramount, then lost it because of ratings, we'd have no show at all, which obviously wouldn't have been good. Okay, so Warfare, the first episode of Warfare after Battle of Los Angeles, so let's get on with it. I'm going to kick things off with the Battle of Los Angeles winner, which is of course Keith Lee. So it's going to be a celebration ceremony. Ruin. So what would happen here? And obviously you've seen one of the people that I've signed there. So that debut is going to be ruined now, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so obviously what would happen here is Keith would come out, fireworks, pyro, streamers, whatever. Do you get a trophy? I don't know if you get a trophy for Battle of Los Angeles. We'll say that you do. Gets a trophy. Kongo Kong attacks him from behind, whacks him with a trophy. Just starting the build to their world title match. Then we're going to move on to a match, and it's a match a long time in the making because Barbi Hayden, after all her video packages, weeks and weeks of video packages, she's finally going to debut. So it's going to be Barbi Hayden taking on Hania, and of course, because it's a debut, she's going to win. But after the match, she's going to be attacked by Tennille Dashwood. I don't know if anyone can see where this is going, but it is going somewhere. We'll debut Barbi Hayden. Okay, now this next segment is going to be an interesting one, because it's going to be a tournament announcement. So we've just had Battle of Los Angeles, and we're going to do the same sort of thing, but this time it's going to be for the tag teams. So we're going to have an 8-team tag team tournament. Try saying that when you're drunk. And the winners are going to get a title shot, basically. So it's essentially Battle of Los Angeles, but for tag teams and 8 teams rather than still 16 humans, but 8 teams rather than 16 singles wrestlers. Anyway, so that would be announced here. So the next show, the Paramount's debut. So Paramount's debut is going to be the start of this tournament, the debut of this tournament. So that's what we announced here. So we're just going to announce one match here, but obviously in reality, Excalibur going to announce the entire tournament. So it's going to be Sanson and El Cuatrero versus Bandido and a returning from Japan, Flamita. So that's why I'm using this one, because it's obviously Flamita's. I mean, if we could, anyway, yeah, returning from Japan. Let's not go into any more detail. Okay, next up, we're going to have a debut. So we've had Barbi Hayden's in-ring debut. This is going to be a debut that hasn't been built up. Hopefully the crowd will pop for this one. So debut angle. So singles debut via call-out. So it's not going to be Alexander Wolf, which that debut has been spoiled because they've seen it. But this one is hopefully going to be interesting. So what would happen here is we'd have Real One in the ring. He'd be moaning about, oh, you know, I should have won the. I don't know. I should. Brian Cage cost me the. Making excuses why he didn't win the Battle of Los Angeles, basically. You know, oh, Dominik Dijakovic screwed me over, even though Dijakovic tried to help him, he'll blame him for losing. You know, you get the idea. And he's going to be interrupted by Chris Sabin. So Chris Sabin is going to debut here. So basically, well, we'll come back to that segment when we do the booking. So Chris Sabin is going to answer. He's going to interrupt Real One. And it's going to lead to a match. So Real One in that segment will be saying, you know, I want a match tonight to make up for not winning, blah, blah, blah. And then Chris Sabin comes out, well, I'll face you. Oh, it's also revealed as well, I should have said. It's also revealed that Chris Sabin should have been in Battle of Los Angeles, but he wasn't because Real One got a bye. So that angle that I did with Superdome when he gave Real One a bye, it would have been Chris Sabin that he would have faced. And he reveals that in this segment. Next up, we've got another match. So it's going to be Orange Cassidy after he teamed with Hulk Hogan, and he's going to take on Dominik Dijakovic, who of course tried to interfere in he did interfere in the Keith Lee Real One match. And Dijakovic is going to win this one, and he's going to win because Scott Hall, and I've just ruined another debut there, Scott Hall, hopefully no one saw that, is going to run in. So Scott Hall, of course, was pinned. Well, Cassidy pinned Kevin Nash at Battle of Los Angeles. Kevin Nash is gone, but Scott Hall, released Kevin Nash. So Kevin Nash is gone, but Scott Hall is still here. And then in the aftermath, Mick Foley is going to save Orange Cassidy. So Mick Foley's email where he said, I want to work for Scott Hall. I noted it, Mick. Don't worry. No one can see where this is coming. Right. Where this is going. So right now the big Why I Turned promo from Mia Yim. So she'll come out to the ring and she'll explain why she turned on Mickie James. So basically what she'd say here is, so she turned on Mickie James because she's selfish. So she brought Mickie into the company to help her out. Mickie then just decided to go after the championship, wasn't interested in helping Mia Yim. Obviously rewriting a bit of history, because if you remember, when I booked that angle, Mia gave Mickie her blessing. Mia gave Mickie her blessing to go after the title. So she's rewriting history a little bit by saying that she's selfish. What did she just say though, which is actually true, she said that if Mickie won the title, she promised me Yim first title shot. Well, Mickie won the title, but where was my title shot? You didn't, you promised me a title shot. You didn't give it me. Obviously, again, they kind of rewriting history because Mia Yim went home, wrote herself off TV, so she couldn't have a title shot. But anyway, so that's why she turned on her basically. Then moving on to the next segment, which is going to be a match. And it's going to be a follow-up from Io Shirai winning the title. So it's going to be Io and Kairi. And they're just going to take on Jessie Brooks and returning from injury, Zeusis. So what would happen here? The last segment, so Mia would do a in-ring scathing promo on Mickie James. She'd walk up the ramp, the stunning Suke Band's music had hit, and they'd walk past each other just again to signify that when Mia Yim turned to help Io, she's not joining that stable. So they just like eyeball each other as they walk past, making their entrance. And of course, the champions win this match, so we'll pin Zeusis because why not? So, clean win, but then after the match, Deonna Purrazzo, more debut spells there. Deonna Purrazzo tries to run in, but she fails. And that's just again across the point that Deonna Purrazzo, she's trying to fight this fight, but she's outnumbered basically. She's fighting it on her own. Paige has been injured. Zelina Vega's been injured. She's trying to do this fight on her own, and she's outnumbered basically. So again, we're trying to drive that point home with that post-match angle. Okay. So next up we've got another angle. It's going to be backstage angle. It's going to be held apart from Brawl. And it's going to be Mick Foley and Scott Hall. So what would happen in this segment is Hall would be backstage after, pleased with himself after interfering in the match earlier. Foley would go to confront him, he'd try and attack him. Agents hold him back. Ric Flair, he's one of the road agents, he could be one of them. He'd hold him back, and then they'd mention that on the debut episode of Outrage on Paramount, Scott Hall is going to be taking on Orange Cassidy, so that's going to get mentioned. That would get mentioned while they're arguing. And the reason why Foley's annoyed with Scott Hall saying, "What's he going to do with you?" A bit of irony here, but basically the motivation is, we saw a load of veterans try and invade and try and ruin the show. I'm not going to let you do that. So he's basically calling back to when the Glory Days were interfering and ruining matches. I was part of that and it sucked. So I'm going to stop you. I don't want you keep running in and interfering in matches. So why don't you actually face Cassidy in the ring rather than attack him? You get the idea. Hopefully it'll be a bit more interesting than I've just described it. But that's what would happen there, and that would set up, that announces, that's a way to set up the Cassidy Hall match next week. Okay, so next up, another match, Brian Cage versus Octagon, who's sticking around, and Brian Cage is going to win cleanly, so that just gets Brian Cage back on track after the defeat at the pay-per-view. And then we're going to have another angle. Authority confrontation. So it's Excalibur and Super Dragon. So what would happen here is basically they'd argue about the Octagon signing. So Excalibur's signed Octagon and Super Dragon's like, "What the hell are you doing? He's in his 50s, he's over the hill. Look, Brian Cage has just whooped him. Why have you signed him?" Basically. So it's just basically Super Dragon slagging off Octagon. That's what would happen there. And then obviously Excalibur would fight back, saying, "Well, you thought Real One was better than Chris Sabin, blah, blah, former world champion, blah blah blah." So that's what that segment would be, and then that leads nicely to our main event. So Chris Sabin taking on Real One, and of course because it's his debut, Real One wins. Sorry, Chris, but he wins because Super Dragon interferes. No aftermath, and it's actually, well, put debut Chris Sabin, but it's actually building up to it. It's going somewhere, basically. Okay, so that's the fallout from Bowler. So let's get on with it and see how we get on. I've got low hopes for this, I have to say. I don't know why. Just don't have a good feeling about this. Okay. Right, so Barbi Hayden got right. So Barbi Hayden's gimmick is I changed her gimmick to I can't remember what it was before. It was a heel gimmick because when I hired her, she was a heel. I think it was like Prima Donna or something like that. So I've changed it to All American. So she's a bit like. So in my excuse me, in my mind, she'd be a bit like. Okay, we'll try that again without choking. So in my mind, she'd be a bit like a college standout. So like a college standout basically. That's kind of her gimmick. The way it's described is how like the original Steiner Brothers gimmick. So that's what it'd be essentially. So a bit like the Varsity Blondes in Julia Hart's gimmick which was a cheerleader. That sort of a type. Anyway, she's a college standout. So hopefully she'll inspire young children. If you work hard, you can achieve a lot. Anyway, move on. Right. Yep, that's fine. Right, so Chris Sabin's gimmick, even though it's got another negative, but I'm really bad at picking gimmick. So Chris Sabin's gimmick, I changed it to underdog. So in my mind, what would happen here is with the underdog gimmick, he'd talk about, I've come back from 2 ACL tears. I'm a former world champion. No one expected me to win the world title. Not in like a shoving it down your throat way, and hopefully in an inspiring way. And I think I'm right in saying that Chris Sabin beat Bully Ray when Bully Ray was head of Ace as an ace. So again, he can mention that, about how he's constantly having to overcome odds. Basically, that's his. And it ties back into why his debut was delayed. He was supposed to be back in Los Angeles, but he wasn't deemed good enough. He wasn't deemed worthy. So again, that's his gimmick basically. He's a bit of an underdog from the underground, whatever it's called. That would be gimmicking. Anyway, you get the idea. Kids, that wasn't very good, which is a shame. That was, which is good. Good, that was a good match. Better than I was expecting. Excellent. Fair enough. Not bad for two Clash of Styles. Pretty good. Yeah, that's not great, but doesn't matter. Ooh, that was better than I was expecting. Because real ones, I've got no hope for real ones matches, so I'll take that. If you'd offered me 70%, I'd have taken it. Shame about the negative responses to the gimmick changes, but hey ho. You don't say, Jerry. That's why we pay you the big bucks. 2.99 for Warfare, so almost a 3. So we are slightly lower than our highest, but hey ho. I just wanted to check that review of the contract, and I did. Right, so tomorrow, Saturday the 5th of October, it's a momentous occasion. It's the debut of Outrage. PWG Outrage. What a show it's going to be. An interesting card. Okay, let's go. Let's get to Outrage. Okay, don't care about that. I'll delete the other emails between recordings. So here we go, the debut episode of Outrage. Right, so we're going to kick things off with the tournament that we mentioned in the last show. What's it called? Warfare. There we go. Edit that out. Right, so it's going to be Mexi Blood taking on NGD, Nuevo Generación Dinamita, whatever it is. So we're going to go with Flamita and Bandido, and they're going to take on El Cuatrero and Samson. Okay, not for the tag team titles. Since the Mighty won the titles, I feel like they've barely been featured. Anyway, we'll sort that out then. So the winner is going to be... It's going to be... Samson is going to pin Bandido. And he's going to win because Flamita is going to turn on his partner. So Flamita, returning from Japan in his first match, is going to turn on Bandido. And then they're all going to beat... Well, actually, no, we're not doing a 3-1 assault because that makes it look like Bandido's... Flamita's teaming with... But they're not. So we'll have no aftermath. I thought you could pick, like... Flamita continues assault or something, but obviously not. And the purpose of that is to turn... Like, why can't you pick... I mean, he will turn, but the purpose is to turn... Why? The purpose here is to turn planetas. I don't know why I can't pick it. Anyway. Okay, we'll just play none then. Well, build it to future match, why not? That's the one I normally go with. I really don't know what purpose... I really don't know what purpose serves. I really should know given how long I've been playing this game. Anyway. Interview time. So what would happen... So what I should have said. What would happen at the start of the show? The graphic would come up for the tournament, the tag tournament, and in some of the graphic, in one of the spots, there's question marks. And that's going to be addressed here because JT Dunn and David Starr are going to be interviewed. And all the question be is, you've been drawn against a mystery team. How do you feel about that? And they just say, well, we're amazing. We're former tag team champions. Doesn't matter who turns up. Even if I don't think a legendary tag team from the bygone, I don't know. Heart Foundation? I don't know. Anyway, even if the Heart Foundation or the Rockers show up, we'll still beat them. So they'll say something like that. I mean, probably get sued for that, but yeah. Do you think of a legendary tag team that's not I can't think of one. Midnight Express, would that be trademarked? Anyway. Okay, move on. Right. So we've got an angle. This is one of these angles that if I'm struggling to fill the show up, I just shove one of these in. So worker arrives at the building, and it's Keith Lee, because of course we need to keep pushing him as the top babyface. So Keith Lee arrives, so now fans hope, oh yeah, Keith Lee's here, good. What's he going to do tonight? Right, next up we've got another match, and it is Drew Gulak versus Timothy Thatcher. I feel like these two haven't wrestled for a while. If they weren't in Battle of Los Angeles, it'd been ages since they... obviously Gulak was doing the... especially Thatcher. Obviously Gulak was in the Glory Days storyline, but... and Timothy Thatcher's going to win. And he's going to win by cheating. No aftermath. Well, there is an aftermath, but I need to book it separately. That's to build up to a future match. So this is the aftermath. Click on the notepad. Right, challenge for next show. So what would happen here is, so it's Drew and Timothy. So what would happen here is, so Gulak could lose by cheating, and then he'd grab the microphone and say, hey, can you only beat me like, why don't you beat me properly? I don't know. Anyway, he'd say something like he'd complain that he's cheated, and then he'd say, "No, I'm okay. If you're that good, I challenge you to a best of 7 series," which of course Thatcher, would accept. So throughout the month, they're going to be having a best of 7 series. So Thatcher's 1-0 up, and so that's what's going to happen here. So that's what Gulak would challenge him to. Because he's not happy to be lost by cheating. Let's find out who the better man is. Let's have a best of 7 series. Okay. So another match that we talked about in the last show. So it's Orange Cassidy taking on Scott Hall, not Scott Dawson. I've ruined the name. It doesn't matter. Okay. And Orange Cassidy is going to win. He's going to win by disqualification. So what would happen here is the match would barely go it'd go like a minute, and then Scott Hall would just instantly get disqualified. He's like, screw this, I'm not doing this. And then Scott Hall, can he beat down? No. Okay. Well, Scott Hall would attack Cassidy after the match. Obviously, as well, with this one, Foley is on commentary at this point, so we'd have so Scott Hall would be he'd be goading Foley while he was on commentary, we turned into him, and on his entrance he'd throw his toothpick at him or something, and then Pat Mack would be like, no, don't respond to it. You need to be professional. On Saturdays you're a commentator now, not a wrestler. Yeah. So that's what would happen there. Right, next up we're going to have another angle and a bit of an I can't think of anything to book, so we're going to do this. He's worried that this is the debut episode and I can't think of things to book, but we'll get by, we'll be fine. Unlike my voice, which is clinging on, which is worrying. Okay, so hype video for Upquin 101 match. It's not quite that though. It's going to be a recap of what happened on Warfare. So Chris Sabin and Real One. So basically, just be like I said, it'd just be a reminder that Chris Sabin debuted and then they fought in a match later on in the night, and Super Dragon interfered. Right. So that's that segment. Then we've got a newly minted minted heel, Mia Yim, and she's going to take on Jessie Brooks. And she's going to lose. No, she isn't. So she's going to win cleanly. Fans enchant Mickey. In fact, she can do a beatdown. Why not? Just to prove she's a. I'm trying to think of synonyms for badass there, but no, nothing was coming to me. Naughty bottom. There we go. She's smooching a naughty bottom. She does a beatdown. Hopefully the fans enchant Mickey at this point, but Mickey doesn't run out. No purpose. Right, 3 segments left. And they will actually serve a purpose. So we're doing an interview with a stable, which is unusual. There's only one stable. No targets. Well, the target's the entire. So what would happen here is basically Katrina would just go, well, you know, we've taken over Warfare. We're gonna take over Outrage as well. You know, yeah, we're awesome. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay, main event time. Main event match time, not main event segment time. So the Juicy Product are going to find out who their opponents are, and can you guess who it is? So JT Dunn and David Starr are going to take on Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson. I've not changed their names, obviously, you know, Cash and Dax, whatever we're going to call them. But yeah, the Revival, FTR. Again, I don't bother changing names on here. Obviously, if this was real, then I would have to. But yeah, so Juicy Product to make their way to the ring. There'll be a bit of silence. Oh, who's it going to be? Anticipation build up. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? And then out come the Revival. And no prizes for guessing who's going to win. So we'll have Dawson can beat David Starr. Doesn't really matter. However, what is going to happen is Mikey Knuckles is something totally different. Mikey Nichols and Shane Thorne, so the Mighty are going to run out. I actually picked the right thing, so let's pick them again. Mickey Knuckles and Shane Thorne. Botched interference. So obviously the Mighty don't want to space the Revival. That's kind of obvious. That's the point we're trying to get across here. Again, it kind of stated the obvious. The Juicy Product don't attack them. We could do that one. Yeah, we'll do that one. So the Juicy Product are going to attack the Mighty afterwards, so we're costing them the match. There is a reason why I'm doing that. Okay, I remember that one actually. Yeah. Okay. I've said this before, but I've got like notes that I work from. I've not got that on my notes, so we'll have that on. Okay, so Davey the Revival, obviously. Right, and then the main event segment. So it's going to be another debut. And it's going to be a tag debut as an ally. Is that what I can... What else can I pick, actually? Tag debut. Call out, attack opponent. Tag debut attack. No. Yeah, ally, here we go. So, Alexander Wolf. No, I don't want that one. Why can't I pick the one I want? I don't do tag debut as ally. Okay, I may have to change this. Okay, tell what we'll do. Yeah, okay. We'll have to do it okay, we'll do it a different way. Here we go. So we'll do an ambush angle. Right, okay. So, okay, we'll do it this way. Right, so this is it. So Alexander Wolf and Killian Dane, so former Sanity, I've renamed them as the Totem Towers, which I know is not a very good name, but it's the best I could come up with. So they're going to attack Keith Lee. So what would happen here? So obviously I've had to look at this, but basically what would happen here is Kongo Kong would be in the ring. He'd call out Keith Lee. So talking about, well, I attacked you last week, but I attacked you on Warfare. I shouldn't have done it. I just want to apologise, and let's have a. I'm looking forward to putting the title, pretending that he's changed. He's looking forward to putting the title on the line against you. I can't wait for our title match. It's going to be a great match. You deserve to win the tournament, blah, blah, blah. Keith Lee comes out. He confronts him, and then again, Wolf and Dane just run down the ramp and beat Keith Lee up from behind, and then it's a 3-on-1 beatdown, basically. So that's what would happen there, and then that debuts Alexander Wolf and Killian Dane as sort of confidants for, henchmen for Kongo Kong, basically. So that's what would happen there, right? So that's the debut episode of Outrage on Paramount, and that's definitely going to butts in seats for that one. That's for certain. Let's go. I've got high hopes for this show, and I don't really know why. Okay, that was a good match, which is what I was expecting. Flamita's now a heel. Yep, that's fine. Although we're going to get a poor rating because it's not going to be an average of the reaction of the match quality, so that's going to affect the rating overall, which is a shame. Yeah, the juicy products are really charismatic. I didn't realise. I maybe should have put them in more angles and segments, but and interviews and that. But yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's fine. Good match, which is what I was expecting. Yeah, that's fine. I was hoping for a bit better there, to be honest with you, but hey ho. Cool. Very good actually. Jesse Brooks is really good. I should renew a contract. Good. She's the champion after all. Good match. Should have been better. Doesn't matter. And then Kongo Kong's henchman debuted, and that's good. Yeah, so the new gimmicks are bullies, basically. Yeah, the gimmicks are bully. There we go. And they're called the Totem Towers, as I said. Right. So that, in 43 minutes, which I can't believe I only took 43 minutes. Oh, hello. Okay, so we'll just quickly flick through these. Right, let's get rid of that. We don't care about that. Yeah, so CMLL, yeah, their show is on prime time as well on Saturday. So we are going head to head, which is why I was a bit worried about the ratings. So we've got a 4.05, which isn't that good, to be honest with you. Okay, but they're happy with the ratings. So that's good. So let's just have a quick look. I've got a little bit of time, and I'm going to be done under 50 minutes, which is what I wanted to do. Yeah, so the maximum we can get is 5.25. So I would have thought that anything under 4, I would have thought is probably they're going to be a little bit worried. But okay, that's good. That's a good start. The reason why I went on Saturday, apart from the fact that when we've got pay-per-view, I don't have to book it. Is because I did want to. Well, I had to go up against something, and that seemed the best thing, the CMLL show, because we are competing with them. So, yes, we've got a 4% public image from those two shows, so that's good. So the ratings are good. Yeah, they can't compete because they're on a smaller network. Mickey James wants to work with Shanna. I forgot about Shanna. Yeah, still got her, haven't I? Mia, you should be out the car, Mia, but unfortunately I'm not going to bother with that one. Anyway, right, yeah. So that is so we're going to end the episode there. So we've got quite a few days now until the next show. So the next show will be Rampage. Not Rampage. Because I've called it Outrage, keep on saying Rampage. Warfare on Thursday. I'm going to sort the sponsors out, but I'm going to do that in the next video. So I'm going to do that at the start of the next video, and then we'll do the 2 shows as usual. So as I said, it's going to be, the series is going to take a little bit longer to get through from now on, because I'm going to be looking 2 shows a week. But if it becomes too much or I don't like it, then I can get out of it. But we'll worry about all that going forward. But just for now, if you enjoyed this video, then please like and share the video. You can also leave a comment on the video should you choose to do that. While you're here on YouTube, if you head on over to the channel, the Commentator, you will find the rest of the videos in this playlist. You'll also find a myriad of other games that I've played through. If you like wrestling, then please go and check out WWE Crush Hour. I've done a playthrough of that, although it's not really a wrestling game, I guess. But yeah, anyway, that's the newest thing I've done to do with wrestling. If you don't like wrestling, then why are you watching this video? But if you don't, then there's plenty of other content for the non-wrestling viewer to enjoy. There's plenty of Pokemon videos, there's Star Fox, there's other games, Game Grounds, Streets of Rage, Extreme Express, Kirby's Dream Course. There's absolutely loads of games on there. There's quite a portfolio building up now, so please go and check all that stuff out if you want to. But join me next time. We'll be moving on the 2nd week of October, and the 2nd ever episode of PWG Outrage. But until we get to that point, for now, from me, it is sayonara.